So that is a glorious little rat. Now, just the floodlight. Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. Today we want to talk about headlamps. We want to grace my mighty forehead with the Sofirn HS20. This is a beautiful headlamp with two LEDs, a flood and a throw LEDs. A separate user interface for each LED, so two buttons, and the USB-C port is covered under this cap, so it's fully waterproof, fully sealed, which right off the start makes it a very interesting headlamp for outdoor enthusiasts. It claims up to 2700 lumens with both LEDs on. Now we'll go outdoors and we'll compare it to the Armytek Wizard, a warm white headlamp that also offers a red light mode, very interesting. And we'll compare it to the Wurkkos HD20, a headlamp that also has a dual LED setup, but only with a single button user interface and based off a bigger battery, a 21700 instead of an 18650 battery or rechargeable battery. So very interesting headlamps. Let's just go outside and do some beam shots, because in the end the quality of the light matters. Yeah, we can see the different light colors. We can appreciate the different light colors. Awesome. Oh, there you go, man. Such an excellent swimmer. Throw mode. Yeah, I can still see you, man. Yeah. You guys see him climbing over there? This is where his headquarters are. Oh, this is the turbo, and that blows me away. Folks, that blows me away. This is the turbo mode. That is truly way beyond 1500 lumens. That is crazy. And now I'm including the floodlight. Folks, this is crazy. I love it. I love the mud. Ah, this is awesome. So here we have the Wurkkos HD20. Yeah, on its full glorious 2000 lumens, combined floodlight and thrower. The Wurkkos has a much more defined floodlight. That is positive. It also has bigger TIR optics, as far as I can see. My big problem is always, yeah, now it's just a floodlight. It's just a floodlight, nothing else. A beautiful homogeneous field of light. Doesn't have the color addition. Oh, there's my mouse again. Doesn't have the two mice. I mean rats. Anyways, it doesn't have the color addition quality of the, hey little dude, of the Sofirn. But still useful. Bit cold for my taste. Yeah, again, if you want a headlamp that throws into the distance, then there is no way around the Wurkkos HD20. The Sofirn cannot replace the Wurkkos in this regard. But in the close-up department, the Sofirn HS20 is definitely better than the Wurkkos. There is no discussion around that. It's still an amazing headlamp. I really like it. Let's do this very same shot again with the Sofirn. So this is the long distance shot with the Sofirn. It's amazingly bright. And I don't know, I'm reaching out towards about the same distance. But I think it uses more energy to get the same distance. It's just brighter, it's less focused. So in order to throw as far, it just uses up a lot more energy. But yeah, even the thrower is amazingly floody on the Sofirn HS20. And now let's do again this beautiful floodlight. Yeah. absolutely gorgeous. And now both lights. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is way more than 2000 lumens, definitely. Amazing for a headlamp. It's just lovely. Okay, here we have the scenery with the Armytek on full power. And now the same scene with the Sofirn on its floodlight power. The Sofirn has a wider field of light, but it's also, everything is a little bit flatter because it's just not as warm of a light color. Not quite. And now the Sofirn on full power, including the thrower. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. And now let's compare that again with the Armytek. Yep, it's just the warmer light color is always beneficial. Now the same thing with red light. It's interesting. The camera picks up the red light better than my naked eyes. That is very interesting. The camera picks up more information than my eyes here. Because I can barely see beyond the river. It's a little creek with my eyes. I can see a little bit of red light over there. But here in the camera it's like completely there. A lot more information. Yep, I need to do some research on that. Like the tree, I barely see some red light on the tree with my eyes, but on the camera I see everything. That is really a nice effect. Now one white light again. La-boom. Yeah, pretty amazing. When Sofirn offered me to review the HS20, initially I was not really that interested because I already had the Wurkkos HD20 and I felt, well, that covers all my needs. What more does the Sofirn HS20 have to offer except 700 more lumens, and I really don't need that in a headlamp that much. But I wasn't aware that these are very different lamps. I mean, size-wise, definitely weight-wise, the Wurkkos is quite a bit heavier than the Sofirn HS20. The Armytek is the lightest out of the bunch, although only by like 7 grams. Now, when it comes to the HS20, it's really a game changer because you have 2 switches independently operate the LEDs. That makes a big difference in my book. I like when I have more than just one switch if I have a lot of complex modi to operate. And the other thing is, of course, the wonderful aspect that the USB-C port is indeed under a cover, fully sealed from the outside world. Now the Wurkkos HD20 had that solved perfectly as well with a rubber cover, but a rubber cover is not exactly the same as this solution. This is the superior solution. Of course, when it comes to the hard use aspect alone, these two are very similar in terms of build quality. There is the machining, it's basically the same company or the same factory that makes these. The Armytek is a step up. It's a little bit more premium. You cannot believe it because this is already awesome. It's a little bit more premium with the texture, and the Armytek of course has the famous double O-rings. It's water resistant, rated up to 10 meters. So if you do some, you see those thick O-rings. That's a little bit something different than on the Wurkkos or the Sofirn. So if you do water sports, if you even plan to do a little snorkeling trip and you might use your headlamp, you go with something like the Armytek. Also, you see how the reflector is built. You have the stainless steel bezel here. That is really very safe. That is just a light that is definitely made for hardest to use, but the Sofirn is extremely robust as well, fully outdoor capable. Also, if you do water sports, it would be fine, especially the HS20 with this completely covered port. So I really like the user interface. That is something that I actually can work with. The user interface on the HD20 is as smart as you can get with just one switch. And in my opinion, it's in reality, it's not smart enough. I know you just push 3 times and then you go to the next setting or whatever. Yeah, in reality, it never works like that. Not outdoors, not if you focus on something besides your headlamp. This with 2 switches, that is fully intelligible to me, even if I'm under stress. Also nicely easy to operate with gloves. I tried it when I rode the bicycle. As for the LEDs, that's interesting. We have seen that in the outdoor shots. This is a Cree XPL LED, and this is the Samsung LED. One second, it's a Samsung LH351D. So these have the same 90 CRI floodlight LEDs, which is quite interesting. They have different throwing LEDs. This is a Cree XHP 50.2, which is very large diameter LED, and this is a Cree XPL, which is in a larger TRR lens. Very different setups. So this gives you a very focused beam, a typical classical thrower beam, and this thrower gives you actually a very floody beam. It even has an orange peel reflector. What we have seen though is that those beams on the HS20, now this does give you a lot of punch, a lot of throw, but not extremely focused. Those 2 beams integrate seamlessly. So if you have both of them activated at the same time, you still have a very homogeneous field of light. While these beams do not integrate seamlessly, you always have a very pronounced hotspot when you have the throwing aspect on. Also regarding the floodlight, the high CRR floodlight, I found the high CRR effect a little bit better here on the Sofirn HS20. The color rendition and the way everything appeared, I liked it better on the Sofirn HS20. Maybe it's because this is going through a frosted lens here and this is going through a little bit larger TRR lens. So the lens system makes a difference, although it's the same LED. When it just goes for if you need a headlamp with a pronounced throw, then you might still look at the Wurkkos HD20. Of course, very different lamps. This is based off a 21700 battery, I think 4800 or 5000 milliamp hours, so much more runtime. And this one is coming with a 3000 milliamp 18650 battery, but it's also lighter. I really like how it dissipates the heat here. The body is really perfect for dissipating heat. There is not a lot of heat on your head. It really dissipates here in this area very nicely. Disadvantage is, of course, like if you do cave exploration or if you work with other people in a team, sometimes you want to move the headlamp upwards, so then the beam of light goes upwards, like reflects back from a cave ceiling. You have a lot of indirect light and you don't blind someone else. This is rather difficult to accomplish with the Sofirn. It's also something that is easy to accomplish with the Armytek. You just move that up and then the light gets up in the air and projected back from the ceiling from wherever you are, inside a cave or even building. You don't blind the environment. So these are some aspects to consider. So very long runtime, 2000 lumens, very specialized throw. So if you like a thrower, you go with this one. This is an all-round headlamp with a bit of throwing power, and that is lighter. That has a covered port, 2 switches, so better user interface. And this one is a specialist headlamp anyways. I like the light color of this one a little bit better than even of the Sofirn, although there's not much difference. This is the specialized floodlight, let's say. And of course the red light mode is amazing. So if you need a good headlamp with a very good red light, probably the best I know, then you have no option but to go with the Wizard. But if you need a regular headlamp that just gives white light, the Sofirn HS20 is the hottest thing in town. It's definitely easy to grab. Now this of course also doubles, comes with a clip, doubles as like an angle light that you clip on your backpack, and you just have light. You don't have to wear it as a headlamp necessarily, but it's big and bulky for those tasks. That's my experience in using it for over a year. It has a magnetic base, which is very handy. This one has a superb magnetic base and a magnetic charging function, which is very handy too. And this one is just really a pure headlamp, although you might find ways, or could find ways, to mount it to other equipment or even to your bicycle. As for the technical aspects, this one doesn't seem to have active temperature control, which I didn't find disturbing while riding the bike. It has a noticeable step down at a certain point, but then it goes from a whole lot of light to still a lot of light, and it doesn't really disturb me. In reality, you often would use the lower settings anyways for long run times where this step down and stuff doesn't matter. So again, this is really a fairly unique headlamp, especially in its class. Super high quality. See how the lenses are recessed here and protected. The build quality is first class, and really the user interface is especially pleasant to operate. So this one, those two are basically costing pretty much the same, and this one is a little bit of a step up, but not too much. So 3 similar headlamps, high quality headlamps, but all with their different strengths. None of them has really any weaknesses, so they all come with different strengths. Great headlamp, the Sofirn HS20. So this is Wear and Tear, over and out.